We are now going to move on to another topic that is top of mind for many Florida families: education. The pandemic and remote learning exposed parents to what was going on in America's classrooms like never before. Disputes over masks and reopening schools had parents across Florida demanding more say in their children's education. Part of your response, Governor, was to sign the Parental Rights in Education Act, which you, Congressman, called a, quote, heinous piece of legislation. Governor DeSantis, the Parental Rights in Education Act and the Stop Woke Act are centerpieces of your agenda for Florida schools. Why? And Congressman, do you believe it's important to educate students in kindergarten through third grade about sexual orientation and gender identity? Congressman, you have 60 seconds.
What I think is important is to educate children on science, math, and history, and true history and fact. Since we're talking about education in Florida, 9,000 teachers and staff have left Florida because of the way he has treated public schools in our state, and it's wrong. We are the third largest state in America, and his administration is paying our teachers 48 out of 50 states. That's embarrassing. We can and we should and we need to do better than that. We need to have a focus on education and not politicize and make political war zones out of our schools. We need to support our schools, support our teachers, have our parents involved. That's absolutely essential. And that's what we need to get back to, is basics, instead of having all these cultural and political wars that Ron loves to do, as I said, because he wants to run for president and he's out of state raising all this money all the time.
Governor, you have 60 seconds.
Well, I would say when you oppose the Parents' Rights in Education bill, which prevents 6-, 7-, 8-year-olds from having sexuality, gender ideology injected in their curriculum, you are the one that's waging the culture war. I'm simply defending parents and students because it's inappropriate to have that in elementary school. It's inappropriate to tell a 6-year-old that they were born in the wrong body. It's inappropriate to tell an 8-year-old that they may have been born a girl, but maybe they're really a boy. That's wrong. We need to do the basics. We need to teach them to read, write, add, and subtract. And if we do that, we'll continue to lead in fourth grade reading and fourth grade math, like we did in today's NAEP results, which is a great testament to having open schools and a lot of hardworking folks in our school system. I also signed, I'm the father of a 5-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter as well as a 4-year-old son, but my daughters are very athletic, and we signed legislation to protect the right of women athletes, that you should not have someone competing on the men's team for 3 years and then switch to the women's team. Charlie Crist opposed that bill. He said he would have vetoed it. I'm going to protect women's sports in the state of Florida.
Congressman, you have 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. There you go again, Ron. It's all about culture wars. It's all about dividing us. I'm a uniter. I think we need to be giving our state a chance to unite again. You love dividing our state. You know, whether it's blacks against whites, whether it's gay against straight, whether it's young versus old. You're making it harder for people to vote in our state. You know, we just started early polling today, early voting rather, today, and he made it harder to mail in ballots. I have a 90-year-old father, an 88-year-old mother. They love to exercise vote by mail. He's made it harder, along with the Florida legislature. That's anti-democracy.
Governor, you have 30 seconds.
I think denying girls and women athletes the right to compete fairly, I think that's divisive. I think it's divisive to rip opportunities away from our girls in the state of Florida. And you want to talk about divisive? The day after Charlie Crist won his primary, he said, anyone that supports the governor, you have hate in your heart and I don't want your vote. Well, think what that means. I'm endorsed by every police group in the state of Florida. I'm endorsed by the firefighters. I'm endorsed by the truckers, the nurse anesthetist, Retail Federation, Farm Bureau. The whole cross-section of the state of Florida is backing me. They do not have hate in their hearts because they reject Charlie Crist. They want to keep Florida going and they want to keep Florida free.